Hi, Steve Stine from guitarzoom. Again, I'm really thankful that you've been on the Facebook guitarzoom community page, excuse me, and you've been posting some questions and some comments, and we've been having some dialogue about this whole guitar thing and how to make your guitar solos just way more exciting for you and for your listener. It's just really, really important. There's not a day that you wake up that you shouldn't be excited about grabbing this guitar and making some music. And so today what I want to do is I want to attach onto the last two videos that we've done by giving you some ideas of how to make your movements on the guitar a bit more exciting for you, a bit more exciting for your listeners by thinking about phrasing using what I call intervallic movement. And this was huge for me when I first started learning how to play, which was 30-some years ago that I started learning how to play guitar. And again, this is one of those techniques that I find, I've taught thousands of students how to play guitar, and this is something that just seems to get them out of a rut on a regular basis. So what I want you to think about here is if we took this G minor pentatonic scale that we've been using. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they tend to play everything the same way. They move, up and down. They just move back and forth between this scale over and over and over, going up and going back down, just over and over and over. What I want you to start thinking about is chopping your ideas into big pieces and little pieces, just like you would if you were talking to somebody. If you were trying to be a motivational speaker or whatever it would be, and you're trying to be interesting, you wouldn't just talk the same way. You wouldn't just go Bueller, 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 because people are going to get bored, right? You got to make it exciting, and the same thing's got to happen on your guitar. So you want phrases that are fast, then slow, high and low, loud, quiet, right? Long, short, lot, nothing, right? Start thinking about your phrasing from that perspective. I call it contrast. Basically what you're doing is if you just did something, do something else. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over. If you had a repetitive idea and it was working over what you were doing, that's awesome. But at some point, it's going to get old and it's time to move on to something else. So what I want to do here is I'm going to play this jam track again, and I want you to use this jam track, okay? And what we're going to do is we're just going to think about some contrast, okay? So I'm listening to this sound. Vibrato, like we talked about last time. Take a break. I'm going to go up because here come those drums. Bend. Take my time. Nice smooth vibrato. Take my time. I'm not in any hurry. Now I can go down. Contrast. I played high. I'm going to play low. Sliding, vibrato. Maybe I'll go back up again. You see? Now in there, I probably have some licks here and there that I'm using, but for the most part, what I'm doing is I'm exploring the vastness of this guitar. Those scales, I'm using the pentatonic scale and, adding some blues notes and whatever in there too. But the biggest thing is I'm listening to the jam track. I'm responding to the jam track that I'm playing with, at least to the best of my ability, right? I'm trying to make it sound musical. So I'm not trying to go, well, step 1 says I need this, and step 3 says I need to do this, and step 4. It's not that. I'm just trying to sing with my guitar. I don't need to be in a hurry because I have all day. I can do this as long as I want. And there's going to be parts in this solo where I'm going to want to just go crazy and kind of do some stuff, but then I'm going to back off again. So phrasing is always telling you to try and create elements that are contrasting. Do something long, do something short, do something high, do something low, do something fast, do something slow. And again, they're all fairly obvious things, but you need to learn to think about it and have it become part of your train of thought when you play. Because if you're not doing it, right? We all think we're doing it, but what generally tends to happen is when people solo, they do this all the time. there's no starting or stopping. It's just the same thing over and over and over and over. And of course, as a guitar player, our minds are going a million miles an hour. You know, when people are listening to us, they don't understand that, but we're thinking about a million things. The trick is don't think about a million things at a time. Just move with the music. If you're doing something slow, don't feel bad that you should be doing something fast, or don't do that. Just enjoy the moment. If you're doing a bend and that bend feels good, or you landed on a cool note, take your time. You don't have to be in any hurry. Enjoy that moment. And then decide, okay, I'm done. What am I going to do now? Do I want to go up? Do I want to stay down here and play something else? What do I want to do? Okay? So, as we're doing this, what I want you to start thinking about is what I call intervallic movement. And you don't have to worry about, the technicalities of if it's a fourth or a fifth. Don't worry about that. What I want you to think about is, instead of just moving back and forth through a scale, I want you to start learning how to jump over things to make the intervals or distances between notes more interesting. So instead of going, which is fine, but if I jump over, you can get a bit more of an Eric Johnson-y kind of thing to your guitar playing by just learning how to jump a little bit. So you might be coming up a scale, and you'll notice how I'm just jumping over, like right there. Let's try that together. I'm going to go on the fourth string, I'm going to go third fret to fifth fret, then I'm going to jump over to second fret, or excuse me, second string, third fret. So I'm jumping over right there. Okay, now what I want you to do is go back to the third string, fifth fret, then we're going to jump over to the pinky on the sixth fret of the first string. Okay, then we're going to jump back to the third fret of the third string. And what I want you to think about is not so much whether or not you can replicate that exactly the way I've done it, but how it feels. It's kind of neat jumping over things to get different kinds of sounds. So if I was playing over this jam track again, I'll try that little lick here. And we just play a little bit of intervallic ideas for you right here. Okay. Now again, it's a train of thought. If I'm practicing, I'm going to try all kinds of intervallic things. Okay? And I'm kind of sidestepping everything else that we've been talking about. I'm just practicing this idea because I got to develop it, right? And as I get more comfortable with it, then I'm going to start moving it into this soup, if you will, that I call guitar soloing. So I've got my bending, and I've got my vibrato, and I've got my contrast, and all these other things. And now intervallic movement simply becomes another piece of that puzzle. I only do it when it becomes a train of my train of thought, but I have to teach myself to have it be a part of my train of thought, otherwise I'll never use it. And you're probably like me, where you've learned things and you go, oh crap, I didn't even use that. I worked on it for 2 weeks and I completely forgot to think about it. That's part of it. Again, your core are the essential things that you think about when you actually start soloing. We want to expand that. We want to take those pieces that you already know how to do, we want to make them better, and then we want to expand on them. So again, I hope that helps you a little bit in thinking about guitar soloing and approaching it from a little bit different angle. And again, if you have questions, comments, anything like that, please let me know. I love to read comments, and I love to answer questions because it's what I do for a living. So you can respond to the video. You can jump on Facebook and go to the guitarzoom community page. And let's talk about these things. Let's see if you can take just one little idea and turn it into something brand new that changes the way that you approach your guitar. Because they're called small wins. But the truth is, every small win makes a huge difference in the way you feel, your excitement about your playing. And that's what it's all about. If you're not excited about playing, you're not going to practice, right? Let's get excited. Let's find some cool things that we can do to bump up your game. So again, thank you so much for watching this and for responding and being a part of our family over here at Guitarzoom. And let me know any questions or comments, and I'd be happy to help you out. So take care, and I'll speak to you soon.